Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading for June the 13th to June the 19th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for your week ahead. All right, Sagittarius, let's get started. What are the major themes coming up for Sagittarius this week? Major themes for Sagittarius. Ooh. Interesting. So many cards wanting to flip. Okay, let's see what fell out first. We got soulmates. The story continues from last week. And we have truth be told. We also see yang energy and your higher power. Now, the cards that flipped but didn't fall were change in the wind, milk and honey, by the book. Anything else? Yes, breathe. Wow. Okay, what's on the bottom of the deck? Community. Wow. This is so interesting. Okay, let's see here. Let's move these out of the way. All right, so there's a change in the wind, my friends, and it seems to be moving you along to a new community, but not in a very traditional path. We see card 11 and 12, so I do feel like you're moving quickly towards something. We see these numbers in a sequence in a very well shuffled deck. I also shuffle off camera. So it's almost like there's a change in the wind and it happened in a way that wasn't very conventional. Something sudden, maybe something unorthodox, unusual, unconventional, untraditional. Something that sort of is unique. It has a uniqueness to it. This change in the wind has initiated something unique. It's moving you towards a truth, with truth be told. And I feel like that truth is related somehow to a soulmate and a new community. Okay? This is on the bottom of the deck, so the whole sort of overall theme is about a new community. And I feel like you're being moved along towards this new community for a reason. And that reason very well could be a soulmate. We also see milk and honey here, card 41 and 51. And so it's interesting. You're looking, or not even looking maybe, but something has catalyzed a change in your life that's leading you to a new community. And I feel like this new community is going to be where you find your soulmate, or where you and your soulmate find together this land of milk and honey. And it's all being guided by your higher power. And all you need to do is breathe and take inspired action. Don't overthink this. Don't overthink this, Scorpio. Don't overthink this, Sagittarius, because this is totally happening. This is guided. Some big shift is coming here, and it's going to change the people around you. You could be experiencing a shift in friendships, in co-workers, in colleagues. Different conscious collaboration is taking place here. What's behind community? Just out of curiosity, fork in the road. Very interesting. Okay, so it's almost like you're going to have to choose something eventually. Once you get to a certain place in this, there may be choices that you have to make moving forward, but that's sort of chapter 2. This reading right now is focused on the change in the wind that's sort of unusual. So it might be something unexpected. It might be something that you don't initially attribute to being like part of a plan, quote unquote. Like you might be like, oh, that was unexpected. That was unexpected. And then it ends up leading you down a true path, towards something very pleasing, very much a land of milk and honey. And there's a soulmate there. So you might be moving towards something with a soulmate and finding like a new community. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's like people that are like-minded and have something very strong in common. Something very strong in common that might in itself be the thing that's unusual or unorthodox. Like, for some reason, I'm feeling like it's a group of light workers or a group of like it feels like that kind of thing where you're going to find others like you, and you're going to find one person in particular that could be a soulmate. Love this. Okay, let's see here. What is the tarot going to say? The moon, of course. Very, very unpredictable time. So much stuff happening beneath the surface. Five of Swords. There was a moment of defeat here. You've had to clean up some stuff from the past. Ten of Swords coming out as well, making me feel like you've healed from past pains and you're seeing things for what they are and no longer resonating with the same crowd. The crowd that put these 10 swords in your back is the same crowd that you sort of left the beach feeling defeated from in the Five of Swords. Everyone leaves defeated. You were defeated, they were defeated. And then 10 of Swords, it's like, it got you. It got you, but you're ready to get up. And maybe this is the unusual thing. This is the thing that's not by the book, that changed the wind around you to show you the truth, that you needed to change direction. Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands was in reverse. Again, it could be because at first you may have been in denial about this. You may have thought, no, I don't agree with this change in the wind. But now I feel like you could be coming on board. You could be coming on board because you've seen the truth. You understand things differently now. You've spent some time healing from this, and I feel like seeing the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups, you're moving away from a community. You're moving away from a community because something has shifted within that community that showed you the truth, and it left you feeling defeated, disappointed, and almost like they got you. They got you with those 10 swords. You have had this as sort of an intuitive vibe all along. I feel like you have been sensing this change coming, but didn't acknowledge it. You couldn't acknowledge it because it was almost like, no way. There's no way that's actually going to happen. You know what I mean? It's that kind of moment. But this is actually, you should almost be grateful for this. And I know that sounds wild, but you should almost be grateful for this because it's moving you in a completely new direction. A completely new direction. And your higher power is here. You are not alone walking this path. Queen of Rods, you are now free to be the confident, charismatic, passionate sort of energy that you possessed all along. And it's almost like now you see the truth. You see the truth about this individual or these individuals where you felt disappointed and a lot of hurt, a lot of defeated moments where you just couldn't accept the truth for a while because it was so devastating. But now that you have, or now that you are about to, it feels like you're stepping into your power with this Queen of Wands. And your higher power is here. And we see that yang energy, again, fire energy. And I feel like you are just now sitting in stillness, breathing, and really feeling like the worst is behind you. The worst of this is over. Now we get to just move forward and be who we are and who we've always been. You've got another 2 in reverse here. So you've got the 2 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. So you may still sort of be grappling with this and needing to finally cut that last cord, just snippy snip. And that could be why community's on the bottom of the deck, because you're still needing to completely disengage, right? And we see the 7 of Pentacles as well. So again, choosing where you want to invest yourself. Where do you want to invest this energy that you hold? Right? Do you want to invest it in a situation that wasn't serving you? One that you felt emotional pain, you felt mental pain, you felt physical pain, you felt this sort of like opposing forces, energy within, like, and it almost feels like this brought you to a place where you were just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe this happened. That thing that I thought was the worst case scenario. How could it happen? How could it have happened? And it happened to get you to see the truth. Maybe it had to be that strong for you to move away from this. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's why it can be very strong. Look what you're moving towards, though, my friend. You're moving towards, we've got the Knight of Swords coming in. It almost looks like it's his arm holding those 10 cups, doesn't it? Right? Like the knight's arm, almost, that's kind of funny. It almost looks like that's his arm holding those 10 cups in place and saying to you, come with me. I'm going to move you towards this 10 of cups. This Knight of Cups, my friend, or Knight of Swords, is Gemini energy, air sign energy, coming in to move towards this 10 of Cups emotional fulfillment. So I'm telling you, this is your soulmate coming in right here. This is it. This had to happen for you to see the truth about something you were hanging on to that you may have thought was ideal. And you may have thought that was the soulmate, this community. It wasn't. This is the soulmate. This is the soulmate. And you're very attractive to them right now. You're the Queen of Wands, and there's no gender here, right? Like you're very confident, charismatic, passionate. You're living your truth because you are no longer bound by this stuff, right? And as a result, there is a Knight of Swords marching towards you to change things considerably. And let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Is the High Priestess. My goodness. This is amazing. You have such a deep knowing about this. This is a divine connection. This is you listening to your inner voice about this situation not serving you, and that there is something else out there for you that's greater and true, that isn't going to put 10 swords in your back. You know, you're not going to be crying over 5 spilled cups here, or I shouldn't say 5, 3. There's still 2 here, and I think that's you and your soulmate. That's the foreshadowing. The High Priestess is here. You're listening to your inner voice. You are connected to yourself in a very balanced way when I see the High Priestess. It really makes me feel like not only are you listening to your inner voice, but you're very much having a spiritual experience right now. This is a very powerful moment in your life, Sagittarius, where things are starting to really become quite powerful in your experience. That's wild. I mean, last week's Sagittarius reading was also very intense. This feels equally intense. Something has happened for a reason, in a way that, yes, it hurt you, but it happened in a way that it had to happen so that you would wake up to the truth about who you are and who they are, and move on. And move on. This is wild stuff. You're moving towards a very fulfilling, peaceful shift in the storyline when it comes to soulmates and romantic love in general, I feel. Let's see what the final and highest, best guidance is for Sagittarius. Surrender to effortlessness and surrender your stubbornness. Wow. Let me read these to you so that you can appreciate my wow. It says here, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you to communicate more lovingly with yourself and others. The stubbornness I'm sensing here is in this final cord that needs to be cut. And maybe some of you have not accepted the truth yet, because you're hanging on to it rigidly, stubbornly. You don't want to accept that this was what it was. But it is. It is what it is. And here's the other card that sort of reinforces that message for you. The surrender to effortlessness says, stop pushing so hard. The art of loving, or the art of living, I said loving, ironically, maybe not, means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Stop pushing so hard. Go with the flow instead of trying to force the river into a new direction. This is really interesting. Will Sagittarius choose to see the truth this week and potentially shift things dramatically here? This is really interesting. I'm going to leave it at that, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining me this week for your reading. If it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. It's so nice to connect with you through the comments. And I appreciate all of your subscriptions to the channel so much, helping this channel grow. I am sending you so much love and light, my friends, and wishing you a wonderful week. Take care, and we'll see you again soon for another reading.